Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, Be Your Own Chefs. I'm Devin.
And I'm Dominique.
And today we're going to show you how to make some super simple shrimp tacos.
They only take about 15 minutes and there's 6 ingredients.
Okay, now let's get started.
Like we mentioned, you'll need 6 ingredients for this recipe, so let's make them appear and tell you what they are.
You will need about a handful of cilantro, 1 tomato, and some red onion.
Some guacamole, a bag of frozen shrimp, and some soft flour tortillas.
So before you chop your cilantro, what you're going to want to do is group them all together and then twist off the leftover stems like I do here. And then you're going to finely chop the top part of them like I did here. And then you're going to finely chop the rest and then try to throw away the extra stems that are at the end, and it should look like this. So for this recipe, we just want to make sure that the tomato is chopped up into little tiny pieces. I just started out by cutting it in half, and then I just make smaller and smaller pieces. It doesn't have to be neat or anything, it just needs to be in really tiny pieces for this recipe. So you're only really going to need about a cup of diced red onion. If you have too much onion for this recipe, it's going to overpower the rest of the ingredients and not taste that great. So we started out with a half of a red onion so we could figure out how much we're actually going to need, because even that is way too much. So just keep chopping and dicing until you get what you think is about a cup.
Now it's time to prepare your shrimp. So before you do anything, make sure you defrost it if you got frozen shrimp. And then next up, what we're gonna do is now we're gonna detail them, assuming they still have the tails on. So all you need to do is actually a little trick to do it really easily. Just pinch it right at the tail, and then you should just be able to pull that off, no problem. Then go ahead and do the rest of them. Now we're going to cut them into thirds. You could do that or halves. I decided to do thirds here because I think that's a little bit nicer for smaller tacos. And now we're ready to go on to the next step. Now it's time to cook the shrimp. So first off, start by adding a small amount of oil to a pan and make sure you heat that up to medium heat. Then once it's heated up, go ahead and add your shrimp in there and stir that around a little bit till it starts cooking. Then what you're going to do is add some taco seasoning. This is some homemade taco seasoning, but basically anything will work. So you could buy like a $1 pack from the store, that'll be fine. Then stir it up some more, and then we're ready to go. Now before we prepare the tacos, wait just a minute, because I want to show you a neat little trick you can do with your tortillas to make them really good. So something that's really easy to do is just grab some tortillas, put them on a big plate, and then we're going to put them in the microwave for about 15 seconds. This will warm them up perfectly and make it a lot easier to use. Now it's time for the best part, which is putting the tacos together. So if you have taco holders, be sure to use those. It definitely works best. Then you can start off by putting your chopped tomato in the bottom here. Next, what you're going to want to do after you add the tomato is add your chopped red onion. This is really the best next thing to put on the tacos here. Then once you have that, the next thing that we're going to do after we add the chopped red onion is we're going to add our shrimp on top. So the trick with the shrimp is you're going to want to make sure that it is evenly spread out between all of the tacos, and then add a couple extra pieces if you have any. Now that we have all that, we're going to top it off with some cilantro. This is going to give it just a little bit of extra flavor that's really, really good. And before you add the last ingredient, be sure to wash those dirty cilantro hands off. Then after you finally do that, you're ready to add the last ingredient, which is some guacamole. So we used it out of a pack, but you can of course make some yourself as well. Now, after you've done all that, they are ready to eat. Enjoy!
Thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys, and making these really easy shrimp tacos. We hope you learned something new and exciting today.
Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Comment down below if you enjoyed the recipe as well. We really want to know what you thought of it. Also, check the description box. We will have a link there to our blog where you can view the full recipe. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oompa loompa doopity doo. I've got another
Why the hair tie on this whole time?
recipe for you.